Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Merci tout d'abord pour les organisateurs de me donner l'opportunité de parler ce matin. Merci professeur Hibaoui pour son invitation et merci aussi à professeur Mohamed Saïdi et Youssef Zaz pour aussi leur support. Alors j'ai changé un peu le titre de cette présentation et bon, je l'ai fait hier soir. J'étais en train de terminer les derniers slides. Donc le titre que je vous propose pour ce matin, c'est IoT Security and Privacy, Main Challenges and How Internet Society and its counterpart Online Trust Alliance address these challenges. Je suis, comme l'a dit le professeur Hibaoui, professeur à l'université Mohamed V de Rabat et particulièrement à l'École nationale supérieure d'informatique et d'analyse des systèmes, mais aussi je suis membre de l'Internet Society. C'est une des plus grandes organisations qui traite de l'Internet depuis 25 ans maintenant. Et je suis aussi le président du chapitre marocain de l'Internet Society. Alors, et l'Internet Society a défini cette année 4 priorités majeures dans son plan d'action. Et on va dire la thématique prioritaire numéro 1, c'est la sécurisation de l'Internet des objets. Alors, il a 3 autres priorités, c'est renforcer le système de routage global, particulièrement en utilisant MARMS, Mutually Agreed Norms for Routing System Security. Et puis aussi, 3e priorité pour l'Internet Society, c'est de connecter plus de gens à l'Internet. Il faut savoir que au jour d'aujourd'hui, encore la moitié de la population mondiale n'est pas encore connectée à l'Internet. Donc, c'est 3 milliards de personnes qui ne sont pas encore connectées à l'Internet. Alors, maintenant, il faut trouver peut-être d'autres moyens que les moyens traditionnels pour connecter ces gens. Et c'est ça la 3e priorité de l'Internet Society. Et puis, dernière priorité qui revient souvent, c'est comment gouverner l'Internet dans une approche multipartie. Alors, ce qui nous intéresse ce matin, bien entendu, c'est la sécurité de l'Internet des objets. Alors, alors, les objectifs majeurs dans cette thématique, c'est de rendre la sécurité intégrée dans tous les objets connectés. Ce n'est pas le cas, malheureusement, comme on va le voir, et aussi pousser et encourager tous les producteurs des objets connectés à sécuriser ces objets connectés et utiliser aussi les principes directeurs qui ont été définis par l'organisation Online Trust Alliance, qui est devenue, comme je vais l'expliquer un peu plus tard, une entité de l'Internet Society. Alors, bien entendu, aussi, un des objectifs, c'est d'augmenter la demande en termes de sécurité des consommateurs. Donc, ça veut dire lorsqu'ils achètent un objet connecté, ils doivent aussi demander à ce que ces objets connectés qu'ils achètent sont sécurisés, sont suffisamment sécurisés, et donc augmenter leur awareness, donc les sensibiliser beaucoup plus. Et puis, 3e point très important pour l'Internet Society, c'est de pousser les gouvernements, les régulateurs à travailler sur cette thématique importante qui est la sécurité et la vie privée des gens concernant, bien entendu, en association avec les objets connectés. Alors, donc, Online Trust Alliance, c'est, on va dire, c'est le bras ou l'entité qui travaille au sein de l'Internet Society pour essayer de réaliser ces objectifs. Donc, les missions de Online Trust Alliance, bien entendu, c'est la sécurité, c'est to improve online trust, c'est développer les bonnes pratiques dans ce domaine, en général. Et pas uniquement Internet of Things, mais aussi la confiance numérique en général. Et bien entendu, l'Internet des objets, c'est un des domaines importants pour Online Trust Alliance. Ah, okay. Online Trust Alliance develop what they call IoT Security and Privacy Trust Framework. This framework is in its version 2.5, updated last October 2017. Internet Society and Online Trust Alliance, their objective is to secure consumers' IoT, not, for instance, industrial IoT. Then the main objective is the projects like this one in this slide. I don't know here, toys, coffee machine, fitness tracker, camera, and so on. And I use in this for this talk the definition of the IoT taken from this document published by Internet Society, and these definitions of Internet say that the term Internet of Things refers to scenarios in which network connectivity and computing capacity extend to objects, sensor, and everyday objects. They are not normally considered computers, allowing these devices to generate, exchange, and consume data with minimal human intervention. Then this definition, of course, is a good one for what we want to do, but of course, we can extend this even if we want to talk about IoT, for instance, for industry or other domains. As you may know that the Internet of Things has a big potential to change our world in a positive way, but there are some problems, and mainly problems related to security, and we witness insufficient IoT security whose impact is already being felt. We witness attacks on devices, applications and services, and we witness we see in the past few months some examples like the Mrabe attack in 2016, where thousands of IoT devices form a botnet which attack DNS service provider called DIN, and this attack happened mainly in United States, and in Europe. But you say what is in red, all the part of United States which is was attacked, and a lot of internet service were down for I think more than 10 hours. But in this report, the 2015 Global Threat International Report said that the main source of attacks come from Asia. 60% of attacks come from Asia, 21% from Europe and Middle East, and 19% from America. Now, what are the main challenges when dealing with security? Here I list 7 challenges, perhaps there are other challenges, of course. The first one is what I called economy promotes weak security. In fact, societies, enterprises are on pressure, competitive pressure, for shorter time to market and cheaper products. This pressure don't let the enterprises to give enough time, enough resources to security. And there are no credible way for these companies to report their level of security to consumers. There are no trusted labels, no certifications which can say this product is secured and not this secured, but in which level. And then security can't be a competitive indicator or differentiator. Even if in this report of 2015, there are a survey and the data of the survey say that 46% of organizations see some increase in sales of their products due to IoT security. But the data said that also 46%, the same percentage said that they see very slight increase in sales depending on what they do on security. In the same report, the organization and the producers of IoT devices say that in 50% of them say that they have adopted a security by design approach for their IoT devices. Then 50% of other IoT products are not secured enough. The second challenge or second point is that security is difficult, especially for new businesses. We know that in general, security requires expertise. And some new players in the IoT ecosystem may have little or no experience at all with internet security. They know for instance, for a company who produce refrigerators, they know their car, they know how to produce refrigerators, but how to deal with internet and internet security good enough. Third point, the IoT systems are complex and each part must be secured. Some systems are composed of several parts, and each part is produced, designed by a different company. And of course, the security of a whole system, which is which is composed of several parts, depend on the weakest link. Even if some company or products are secured enough, but the whole system can be breached because they are a link and the weakest link in the system. 4, the security support is not always maintained. Of course, when you purchase a product, you need, after the purchase, to maintain this product. And you need to introduce patches, for instance, when it is necessary, when some vulnerabilities are known. And in general, the maintenance of the system is expensive for the companies, but also for the consumers. 5, this point is very important. Consumers' awareness of IoT security is low. Of course, when a consumer purchase a product, is not I can say a normal citizen who purchase an object. He's not an engineer. He's not a specialist in security. He's not aware of security. Then it's very difficult for a lot of consumers to maintain, to configure their IoT devices. 6.6, security incidents can be difficult to detect or resolve for users. In many cases, a product which is compromised, the consumer is not aware that his product is compromised, because the product is functioning well. If it's a refrigerator, it's functioning. It is working well. It do a good job. But of course, perhaps he is compromised. He is a part, perhaps, of a botnet, but the consumer is not aware of what it is going on with its products. And the last point is the liability for damage caused by inadequate safety of IoT can be difficult to determine. And of course, clear accountability encourages suppliers to enhance security, but we know that in the absence of strict liability regimes, it is ultimately users and consumers who pay the price for security breaches. This is the 7 challenges I want to focus on. Now, what about personal data? We know that with the development of these connected objects, users entrust de facto part of the privacy to improve their environment and make their living environment more efficient or safer. Then the user gives a part of their privacy to the companies which produce these devices. But we know that now that there are a lot of risk to the person and the personal data. A camera which is compromised in a home, your privacy is you may have some problem with your privacy. If you have smart electricity meters, and we can say through the load curve of electricity consumption that you are in your home or not, then privacy is in trouble. Newspaper generally give some problems with some products. Here, a smart TV. The second here paper, thermostat. A problem with the thermostat. Here, another problem with the baby monitor, etc. All these IoT devices have some privacy problems. And also a caricature, a well-known caricature did by Nitro, Zach, and Snoggy. Very funny, this caricature. Here you can read that the cameras and the bubble say, excuse us, while we participate in while we participate in a distributed denied of service attack. They are aware that they are in a botnet and they participate in distributed denied of service. Here, another this thermostat. I am turning off the heat until you warm up my bank account. And here another, the trash said, if you don't send us cash, your reputation will be in the trash. Okay. Now, I want to say something about IoT Trust Alliance, which is founded in 2007 as a trade and industry organization. More than 65 members belong to this alliance. We can find DigiSurf, Symantec, VeriSign, etc., Microsoft, Twitter. And Internet Society and Online Trust Alliance merged in April 2017, and all the members of Online Trust Alliance became member of Internet Society. And now Internet Society use Online Trust Alliance in the campaign concerning, of course, security in IoT. For the Alliance, there are a lot of organizations which are working in the IoT industry. And they want to gather all this organization in order to address and to assess the IoT risks and address the security, privacy, and sustainability of the IoT projects and services. And it's why they want to discuss out with all this organization through they create in January 2015 a working group called IoT Trustworthy Working Group, where all these organizations are members. And the mission of this working group was to develop an IoT security and privacy trust framework. And the first version of this framework released in March 2016, and now this framework is on his version 2.5, and the last update was in October 14 last year. What we can find in this framework? First, the framework includes a set of strategic principles which are necessary to secure IoT devices and their data, of course, through the life cycle of the products. Of course, this principle are discussed in through a multi-stakeholder process. The stakeholders are mainly these 40 organizations, 65 organizations which are members of Online Trust Alliance. And through this, the discussion, defined consensus and defined also criteria which are will be used to say that the connected devices are secure or not. And of course, we want to define a trust framework for the products. Then, 4 key principles in 4 key areas has been defined in this framework. The first part of the principle, principle 1 to 12, are general security principle, which are applicable to any device or sensor and all cloud application and services. This principle ensures that devices use default cryptographic protocols and only open physical and virtual port and services are required. We can find also in this principle something for this first part of principle, the includes also penetration testing and vulnerability reporting programs. The second part of principles, between 13 to 17, we can read principle about the requirements of encryption of all passwords and username, how to also to reset passwords and things like that for IoT devices. The third part, which is very important, is privacy, confidentiality, disclosure, and transparency. Here we have the principle from principle 1833. Then the main part, or where we have a lot of rules, principles, are concerning privacy. And the last part is, we can say, how to notify users and some recommended practices for security and privacy in general. I'll show you only some principles regarding to privacy. Here, the principle 20. You can read that this principle is disclosure what personally identifiable and sensitive data type and attribute are collected and how they are used, limiting collection to data which is reasonably useful for the functionality and purpose for which it's being collected, disclosure, and provide consumer opt-in for any other purpose. Then it's meaning that when we collect data, personal data from a consumer, we need to collect only what is necessary, not to collect all type of personal data. And if you want to collect more data in the future, we need to ask the consumer if it is if he is he agree to give this new personal data. Here another rule about the retention of data and how the storage of personal data. This the principle 25 here concerning the consent of consumers. And when a company wants to give the personal data to another company, here we need the consent of the consumers, and a company which collect data don't have the permission to sell this data for other companies of other entities. Online Trust Alliance also released last month, April 17, an enterprise IoT security checklist, which is a very limited checklist, and the enterprises need to comply with all this point in this checklist. They want this checklist to be simple, but enough, which also summarize in some way, all these 40 principles which we find in the framework. Last point I want to discuss with you is, do we need regulation? Here, the companies are, some companies say, yes, we need some regulation. Others say, no, it's not important regulation, and the market is the regulators, and we not need government regulation. For Morocco, we have a general law about protection data, personal data, which is the law 0908. But we don't have not yet recommendation or directives or some things like that for IoT. But perhaps in the near future, CNDP in Morocco will work for this domain. And this one of our work in the Internet Society chapter is to push CNDP to work, to think about privacy when Moroccan people purchase IoT products. Here's some slide about this law. It's not important for this talk. And I want to conclude that to say that IoT security, of course, is a global challenge which require global collaboration, government, industry, and also civil society. And now, today, I use the hat of civil society through internet, internet society. Then these three entities, government, industry, and civil society, need to work collectively and make action to secure consumer IoT products and associated services at every stage of the lifetime of the life cycle of the products. And thank you very much for your attention.